Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about the left-wingers and the recent attacks on men and masculinity. Just yesterday we were covering the Try Guys on YouTube, who were pushing their more feminine, new male propaganda all over the website, more anti-male crap. And now, today, we've got a whole other story about a certain shaving company who is going anti-male too. Gillette Razors recently released a very preachy, serious, and tone-deaf ad, which was going after men for our supposed toxic masculinity. Yeah, right. That's just men being strong, confident, and aggressive, as we should be. And I'm not sure attacking your target demographic is the best way to sell razor blades, guys. I guess that's why their commercial is getting so much hate and backlash right now. The ad from Gillette is called "We Believe, the Best Man Can Be," and it's already got a whopping 366,000 dislikes on YouTube. Jeez. And you guys have been asking for a review of this all day, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the ad and see what's up with it.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Toxic masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
I think men are doing pretty good, yeah. Let's see, what have we got done? We built modern civilization, built the United States, America, and all its great cities. Men also cured polio and smallpox. And men even landed on the moon. And we created the internet and Starbucks. So, if you ask me, so far so good. But wait a second, I don't think the tone of this ad is going to be going in our favor, guys. They've already mentioned Me Too and toxic masculinity in the first 10 seconds. Woof, I think we're going to be in for a doozy today. But before we continue, there's a few things to note here before we move on. First of all, the marketing for this product is all wrong clearly. Not only is it attacking its target customer base, like I said before, but also it's just too serious and heavy-handed. Already just 10 seconds in and I could tell this is not going to work at all. But also, it may just be me and my taste, but I like commercials that are either funny, smart, or sometimes cute. Or of course you can advertise with hot chicks in your products. That always works as well. But what never works for me though is when these companies try and get woke and progressive with it. Social justice warrior propaganda pushing ads like this have been a pretty big trend in the last few years too. I've actually covered a number of them myself. The last one was back in November when Ben & Jerry's made an anti-Trump ice cream flavor. And there was also one in October when Common was pushing Black Lives Matter bullcrap for the ACLU. Then also last year, there was another ad very similar to this one from Gillette. Lily Singh, a feminist YouTuber, she did a pro-feminist commercial for Olay. And it was just as cringy as you might imagine. I have a link to my other ad reviews in a playlist below in the description of this video if you're interested, but the bottom line here is this. None of these woke ad campaigns ever work out. In fact, they actually turn out to have negative effects on the companies promoting them. So I really don't get why Gillette would go down this road too. Again, in 2019, the incompetence in their marketing department is simply baffling me. I mean, think about the messaging here already. Name dropping Me Too followed by toxic masculinity is so cheap, ill-informed, and transparent. They're clearly trying to virtue signal to woke millennials who, by the way, they're never going to buy their products anyway. Gillette is going for a market of SJW women and their beta orbiters, none of which have the testosterone it takes to grow a beard and necessitate shaving to begin with. But next, let's debunk the idea of toxic masculinity once again, something we've covered time and time again here over the years. And in my opinion, the Me Too stuff we can basically skip over here because, taken at face value, that movement is trying to help abused women, so it's hard to argue with that. But the way they leverage Me Too as a way to shame men for their toxic masculinity, that is borderline criminal, definitely offensive. Because you know what? Masculinity isn't toxic to begin with. That's just men being men. Nothing wrong with that either. Well, there is something wrong with that if you're a feminist, progressive, or SJW. You see, there's a reason they are attacking manly men. It's because they're threatened by us. The leftists clearly can't stand on their own. That's why they cry and beg for support from their allies, which usually includes most of the government, law enforcement, lawyers in courtrooms, and judges. And they even get help from the men which they pretend to hate day after day. The truth is, these left-wingers can't survive without masculine men. We're the ones building their houses, running their utilities, services like water and electricity. And it's the brave men in our military who fought for this country's freedom and won the wars we needed to keep this country safe and secure and independent. Sure, women are in the military now too, and I'm not trying to discount their efforts either, but the large greater majority of the soldiers in our services, in our military defense, they're men. But now for some reason we're all toxic because SJWs are insecure. I think the betas and feminists say that because they're bitter that they have to rely on masculine men so much. But instead of being grateful for that and chill about it, they're being spoiled little whiny brats and very disrespectful.
Is it? We can't hide from it.
sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long.
What's been going on for far too long, though? Yes, men have whistled at and grabbed women's butts for a long time, like what's presented on this TV in the ad. But is that really a crime? Thinking women are beautiful enough to say hi or even yell or whistle at them, that's actually a high compliment. And so is grabbing their butts in the right place and the right time, of course. It's also worth noting that many females enjoy these activities. Most of them do. There's even been articles where feminists have retracted their hatred of catcalling because they found themselves missing it when it was gone. They love compliments. Regardless, I don't think there's an issue here at all. Just some biased left-wing bullshit trying to shame men for being straight.
We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
OMG, a woman had her boss talk down to her at work. What a tragedy. The thing is though, this isn't just a female issue. Men have this happen to them at work all the time. And you know what we do when we get cut off or shut down in a meeting? Well, we just take our licks and move on with our lives. No pity party needed if you're a man, because no one will listen to you if you're a man. No one cares about our problems. And if we said someone was sexist for doing something like this, they would just laugh us out of the room. But it looks to me like this woman in the video, she can't handle it. She got cut off in a meeting and she looks like she's gonna go home and cry with her cats and a bowl of Ben & Jerry's pecan resist ice cream. Another woke marketing strategy that failed miserably. And doesn't this also prove that women are weaker? If this girl can't take a man at work cutting her off in a meeting, is she really even cut out for the business world? Pun intended? Because I don't think so. And this isn't even mentioning the fact that women bosses cut off male workers all the time. Happens every day, but for some reason, men don't get shout outs in woke advertising. Gee, I wonder why.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
Okay, well, first of all, showing a clip of Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks pretty much destroys any credibility this project still had. The Young Turks are a goddamn joke. They're a biased left-wing activist group masquerading as some sort of news operation, pretending to be reporters when really they just read articles from CNN. Not to mention many of their leaders still deny the Armenian genocide. Shit, the name the Young Turks itself comes from the group who genocided the Armenians back in the 1920s in Turkey. What a joke. Yet somehow this Gillette commercial wants us to consider them credible after showing a clip from a show like the Young Turks. Holocaust deniers. I can't believe it. I don't know what Anna was talking about here either in her little clip. She says sexual assault something or another. Doesn't really matter though. She's been lying and pushing her better than you nonsense on the Young Turks for so long. I can't take her or that channel seriously at all anymore. And the same goes for Gillette now, considering they're using a clip from them. And now back to the boys will be boys bit the commercial did just before this. What's wrong with saying boys will be boys? I know left-wingers have turned this into some kind of negative meme, pretending all men are abusive or some shit, but that's not really what the phrase is all about. Boys will be boys is a phrase used to explain boys' natural tendency to be adventurous, hyperactive, and do risky activities which potentially result in hurting themselves, such as climbing a tree or play fighting, for example. Feminists, on the other hand, in an effort to perpetuate their hatred of men and boys, these lefties have attempted to claim that this phrase is used as an excuse for sexual assault, attempting to imply that sexual assault is a normal activity for boys. This is obviously completely false though, and this phrase does not in any way apply to anything harmful, not even for less serious crimes such as theft. The phrase itself could be traced all the way back to 1589, whereas the earliest claim that it had anything to do with excusing sexual assault, that can only be traced back to the mid-2010s, like 4 or 5 years ago, with feminists being the only source for that claim. So, needless to say, this new version of the phrase is completely whack, and it's being used by feminists to attack men, like in this Gillette ad, because they are jelly of us. Or Gillette is jealous of us. Gillette is jelly.
We believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie.
Come on.
Smile, sweetie? Really? I mean, the guy saying that is obviously hosting a show or something. He's got a camera, a microphone, and he's at some pool party trying to get girls on camera. It's like a spring break vibe. So him saying smile, sweetie is hardly a capital offense. Even if he didn't have the camera there, that's just not that bad. And I think it's worth noting that being a white knight like this other guy here that's protecting the girls, well, that's not going to help you get laid, buddy. This is a classic beta male feminist move, and it never works. They try and get overly protective of girls in public, thinking it will get them in their pants later. This never works out though, as the women will still prefer to sleep with alphas, like the guy who said smile sweetie, ironically enough. So white knighting is not only unnecessary and it belittles the ladies, it also doesn't work out for these beta guys in the end. That's why they get all triggered eventually and turn into sexual abusers like the ones they once pretended to defend the girls from.
To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Some already are. then weighs big.
Yo, men,
Okay, now's a good time to point out the anti-white bias in here. Did you guys notice that almost all of the toxic males in this ad are white? Because I did. Besides one or two outliers, all of the main fake sexist men are white in this commercial. There was that guy on the fake TV show grabbing butts, and the boys will be boys, most of them were white. And then there was that guy saying smile sweetie, he was white. And this guy at the end doing the cat call, he was white too. I guess they're all white guys because we're supposed to be the worst sexist ever, right? Please. I don't think you're gonna like the stats if you look those up. Have you done any research, Gillette? Because I don't think you're going to like those sexual assault statistics based on race if you actually looked into it, because it's not going to say that whites commit the most sex crimes in America. Not even close. Also, did you guys notice that the two white knights in this ad were actually not white, ironically enough? First, it was this brown guy stopping the smile sweetie guy. Then there was a black guy stopping the cat caller. Not to mention the next home video section is all minorities. Mostly black people. You know, because minorities are always so perfect and doing things right. Please. This ad is just racist as hell. They're clearly attacking white men more specifically here, and the minorities get a pass because reasons. I guess they're a protected class, according to SJWs.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay?
I mean, the kids were just horsing around. Relax. This uplifting music makes it sound like these betas are saving the world or something by stepping in here. But they're really not. This is actually more of a boys will be boys situation. Those kids were just play wrestling. They were laughing and rolling around on the ground. And the older boys were just running around too, teasing each other. So I don't really see the big problem here at all. Well, actually, I do see something. What I see is these radical leftists and SJWs, they think they can get away with publicly shaming men.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Doesn't really seem like we watched a shaving commercial, does it? Not really promoting your product so much as pushing your left-wing politics. Well done, Gillette. In the end, this company really deserves all the backlash they're getting, and they're getting a lot, thankfully. Just in the time it took me to make this response, Gillette's video got another 80,000 dislikes, bringing their grand total to a whopping 449,000 dislikes. Wow. And this is a good sign, folks. Terrible anti-male, pro-SJW bullcrap like this, it's getting refuted publicly by sane, rational people like us. And I have to say, it feels good to be right once again. What do you guys think? Is Gillette's woke ad going to get them more business? Or is this going to backfire like how this strategy has time and time again in the past? And also, do you think masculinity is toxic? And have you ever heard of women being called toxic? Because it seems like girls could do no wrong according to these guys, but me myself, I'm just not buying that. Comment your thoughts on all of this below. And thanks for watching today's new video. We'll see y'all next time here on No Bullshit.